As a small YouTuber, I don't exactly have manufacturers throwing demo bikes at me anytime I say, hey, it's time for a new bike. So I'm kind of on my own when it comes to that. Unfortunately, I have this thing where I just love trying new things. I don't know if it's the quest to get it right or if it's just addicted to chaos. I'm not really sure what it is, but it's part of who I am, and I've decided that it's going to be part of this channel because I'm going to embrace it, and I hope you do too. If you don't, if it's not your thing, I totally get it. Feel free to unsubscribe. But from now on, I'm not going to allow negativity and hostility in the comments. I'm just going to delete that shit. Because it's my channel and I can do whatever I want. I don't know. Anyway. Today is my 53rd birthday. And yesterday I did something a little special for myself. I went out and I got myself a bike that makes me feel young again. If you've been following the channel for any length of time, you know a couple of things about me. First, I had a Triumph Scrambler 900 in Cosmic Yellow that I said was my forever bike, and I absolutely loved it. The second thing that you'll probably already know about me is I changed my mind a lot. That's life. And at 53 years old, I've decided I'm okay with that. I'm actually going to embrace it and make it my thing. That's part of my personality, it always has been. And now, I'm just kind of making it official. This is my thing. It shouldn't take 53 years to find out who you are. And I'm not saying it's taken me 53 years to find out who I am. But it's certainly taken me 53 years to really actually figure things out 100%. I think I'm pretty damn close. And so that one thing that I figured out about myself is I both love and hate change. It depends on the situation. For example, I've been married for 27 years, something like that. That's a lot longer than most people. I had the same truck for, 15 years. We just traded that finally because, it was time. I lived in the same house for, 17 years. I have a pair of blue jeans that are of legal drinking age. I swear to God, you can look back at my cross-country adventure and you'll see me wearing those jeans. They're the ones that are all kind of patched together with bandanas. Yeah. But for certain things, and it turns out one of those things is motorcycles, I can't seem to make up my mind. Or, alternatively, I really enjoy just trying something new. Probably sooner than most people enjoy trying something new. I've been toying with the idea of getting a sportier bike for quite a while now. I have a Royal Enfield Himalayan 450 that I love that does just about everything. And then I had the Scrambler 900, which I also loved, probably more than anything in the world. And it did pretty much everything. And the one thing it didn't do great was more technical riding. Riding in the twisties, going a little fast sometimes. Having fun like that. Just a different kind of fun, I guess. And because I have the Himalayan now, and I absolutely adore that bike, and it does everything that I want, I wasn't really riding the Scrambler all that much. Last weekend, I went on a demo day over at Triumph Columbia River in Portland, Oregon. I rode all kinds of bikes. I rode a Street Triple, I rode the Scrambler 1200X, I rode the Speed Twin 1200 RS. Again, I made a video about that in the past, but I rode it again because I was trying to get a feel for what I was going to do next. And I gotta say, the Street Triple really kind of floated my boat. I get on that thing, we went for a ride that was probably 45 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. And I haven't had that much fun in a very long time. It really opened my eyes to the fact that I'm a pretty decent rider, that I can handle a bike like that, and that I actually enjoy riding like that sometimes. A little, spirited. And I really missed it. I used to have an old Suzuki GS 500E, I think it was, and that was a spirited little bike. That was one of my first bikes, and I kind of missed everything about that bike. Maybe I was trying to replicate that feeling again, I'm not really sure. But anyway, I rode the Street Triple 765, and I said, hey, that could be my next bike. But it is a little much for me. It's a little aggressive in the styling. It's got way more horsepower than I actually need. I still prefer a more classic looking bike. That's when I started reading about the Trident 660. Triumph has a bunch of bikes in their 660 range. They've got the Trident, they've got a Tiger Sports 660, they've got the Daytona 660. But the Trident appealed to me because it was stripped back, you know, just real kind of motorcycle looking. It's fast as hell, it's nimble, it's light, and the price was almost half of what the 1200 RS would have cost me. It got me thinking that maybe bikes like the Speed Twin 1200 RS are a bit overpriced for what they are. I'm not saying that's not a fantastic bike. It is kind of my dream bike, or one of them anyway. But I just can't stomach the idea of paying whatever it is, $15,000 for a bike like that, when this is sitting there for, I think the list price of this bike was, what, $8,500? For $8,500 you get a triple that flies, that's really well built, and the 2025 model comes with a quick shifter, it comes with cruise control, and it comes with a sport mode. It's pretty much everything I wanted in the Street Triple, only a little bit more sane. Because you know me, I'm sane. And so I did a little bit of soul searching. I went into the garage, I looked at the Scrambler, and I said, God, I love this bike so much, I love everything about it, but now that I have the Himalayan, I'm not riding it as much because I'm using the Himalayan for things I would have used the Scrambler for. The Scrambler is really just a go-around town, and I don't know. It's a go-around town bike. But what I didn't have in either one of my bikes, either the Himalayan or the Scrambler, was a sort of go-fast, canyon carver, twisty eater motorcycle that I could just feel like a frickin' teenager again on. So a couple of days ago, I went and test rode the Trident. I took it out for, I don't know, it felt like an hour. I put it through its paces as much as I could without, you know, ruining Triumph Columbia River's demo bike. And I was really keen to find out a couple of things about the bike. First, I have very little tolerance for buzzy bikes. I actually found the Triumph Tiger 900 Rally Pro that I used to have a little too buzzy for my taste. It actually made my hands numb a lot quicker than I thought it would, and a lot quicker than I think it should. And so that kind of put me off triples, but I didn't get that sense with the Street Triple. So I said, okay, well maybe I should give triples another shot. So I took the Trident out and checked it for buzziness, and I didn't notice really anything. Like, you know, it's a little buzzy like any motorcycle is, but it didn't make my hands numb at all, and so that was a good thing. I also wanted to know, is it fun right out of the box? Do I have to do any modifications to this bike to make it super fun? Can I just spend the rest of the summer riding it and not worrying about buying accessories? And within about 5 seconds, I realized, yep, right out of the box, this bike is fantastic. Third of all, as I've mentioned in previous videos, do I trust the dealer in the service department to take care of me if anything goes wrong with this bike? Well, I gotta say, I've had good luck with Triumph Columbia River, and they are good people, and they made me a good deal on this bike, and they offered me what I thought my Scrambler 900 was worth. And my recent dealings with their service department have been nothing but excellent. So I felt really confident in giving Triumph Columbia River my money again. They happen to have a bunch of different color schemes of the Trident. The black one that I have here is actually the base model, so it's the cheapest model. I didn't buy it because it was the cheapest model. I'm not that cheap. I think the difference in price is like, I don't know, it's under $200. The black one just appealed to me because it's not so much that I didn't like the colors of the other Tridents, I just didn't like the way that they were done. I really liked just the plain black. It's kind of a nice blank canvas, if you will. So I got the plain black one. I was kind of tempted to get the triple tribute version or whatever it is, the Triumph Tribute. It's a bike that pays homage to Slippery Sam. You can Google it. But I just thought, as much as I like it, kinda, it would get old real quick. And there's not a whole lot you could do to sort of change the look up of it. So I went with a straight up black bike. Not very exciting, but I'm kind of excited, to be honest. Anyway, I've put almost 300 miles on this bike so far in the past couple of days. Today I'm pushing 150 miles on it, and I've got no numbness in my hands. My butt is comfortable. My back is nice. One of the great things about this bike is it's got a nice upright position, but also the seat is made in a way that you can scoot back and lean down and get in a hunch if you want to go super fast, and it doesn't feel uncomfortable or awkward. It doesn't feel silly to do. And so there's so many ways that you can sort of position yourself. A lot of people are not going to like the fact that the pegs are up a little higher than you might expect, I actually find it really comfortable. The whole thing I just find super, super comfortable. So, that's my little review of the bike. I don't want to turn things into a giant bike review channel here. But the main point of this video is this. If you're an older rider like me, and you get a lot of guff from your friends and family because you go through bikes like water, ignore that shit. Do what you want to do. Have fun. Switching out bikes makes me endlessly happy. It makes me happy. And that's the most important thing when it comes to motorcycles. We're not in motorcycles to make money or, for most of us, it's not our primary transportation, although it is for me. We're in it for the fun. We're in it because it brings us joy. It brings us so much happiness. And one of the things I love about motorcycles is that there's so many different kinds to choose from, and there's so many to try. And if tomorrow I trade this Trident in for something else, I won't feel bad. I can't see myself doing it because at this moment, I absolutely freaking love this thing. But as I've said in the past, I will never again say this is my forever bike, because I've learned who I am. I'm a guy who likes to try different things. Maybe someday he'll get it right, maybe he won't, but he'll always be happy. So on my 53rd birthday, I can happily report that I am happy. I am one happy dude. I know I go through a lot of bikes, and for some of you that it can get irritating, or you come to watch my videos just because you're interested in one particular bike and then I sell it or whatever, and that bike doesn't exist in my garage anymore and you lose interest, and I totally get that. So feel free to unsubscribe. I won't take it personally. I will take it personally if you go into the comments and just spew a bunch of nonsense. If you're gonna make fun of me, at least make me laugh. I'm not going to allow mean comments to sit in the comments section because it doesn't serve any purpose and it just bums everyone out, especially me. So that's that. If you all want to see a real detailed review of the Trident 660, I'm happy to do it. I think this would be a great bike for an older rider looking to get into something a little sporty but doesn't want to go all sport all the time. So I'd be happy to make that video if there's any interest, but I don't want to force it on you, because I know that bike reviews can get kind of old after a while. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching the channel. If you like this kind of content, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you don't like this kind of content, feel free to hit that unsubscribe button. Just hit the subscribe button. I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I gotta go carve up some twisties and have some birthday cake or something. I don't know. I'll catch you on the next one.